and HIV, AGA, the founder of the Y Plus Music Band, a vibrant band of young people, both infected and affected with HIV, and we use our talents to create positive impact through entertainment. I don't know if some of you have seen us perform anywhere, but soon you will see us very soon, hopefully. I'm also the founder of the Young Positives Foundation, which is a charity organization that empowers, educates, and equips young people living with HIV to improve on their livelihoods. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so humbled to be here. I would like to thank the Judicial Institute for inviting me and giving me this opportunity. At the age of 11, I got to know that I'm HIV positive. And I kept on asking my mom, why am I taking this medication? Why am I taking these drugs? By that time, we used to take Septrin before someone was started on ARVs, you would start on Septrin. So I kept on asking her, why am I taking medication? Of course, as you know, in this society, even right now in this generation, HIV stigma is still high, and some people still think that it's an abomination to talk about HIV. She was scared as a human being to tell me that, you know what, you have HIV. But I kept on asking her until when she got tired of me asking her, and she later on took me somewhere and she asked me, what do you know about HIV? At that age, 11, I was in P5, if I'm to recall well. I told her, what I know about HIV is everyone who has HIV is going to die, because that is what I used to see in school. Everywhere you go in schools, there are posters, HIV kills. So definitely I knew if I have HIV, I'm going to die and there is no future for me. She kept quiet. As any parent, you can relate if you're a parent and the child, you ask a child and a child replies to you like that. Then she asked me, what will you do if you find out that you're HIV positive? I kept quiet. I didn't answer her, but I felt sad. At my tender age, I realized that maybe I'm HIV positive. She also actually didn't tell me anything, but of course, it was evident that I'm HIV positive. At that moment, I hated myself. I hated her. I hated my parents, both of them. I hated my siblings. I hated everything because I kept on asking God, why me? Of all people, why me? And I mean, why am I the worst person on earth to have HIV? But I thank God, amidst all the self-stigma I had, all the self-hatred I had. I remember even at one point I tried to commit suicide, but I thank God He still had a purpose for me. Maybe if I died, I would not be here today talking to you right now. So, of course, very many events happened from that time to university. And my turnover point was at university. When I joined university, I think 5 years ago, at that time, my dad was sick. May he so rest in peace. He died of AIDS. And we literally didn't have money at home. All the money we had was going to hospital. So I happened to join campus, and I meet this girl who was a good friend, who became a good friend, and she asked me to be her roommate. I was like, it's okay. But this girl is from a rich family, very, very rich family. Of course, I will not disclose, which rich family or whatsoever. So we come together, we join up, and we become roommates. So later on, as I said, we literally didn't have money at home. I didn't have money at campus. I could not afford food. I could not afford everything at campus. And she was the one to, be there to provide for me, to buy food at hostel. I know most of you have been in this campus life. You have a roommate, a rich roommate, who has a screen TV, you know these things, right? Who has a good bed, who has everything you would yearn for. So in our room, I literally just had my mattress and my suitcase. And she had everything. So our time reached, and I think maybe she felt like she's now taking care of me. she started making demands, and she had a boyfriend. And that boyfriend would come sometimes and go. So she later on told me, you know what, I want my boyfriend to move in. I know it was crazy. But since I had no say, remember she's the rich girl providing, I had no say. I told her, okay. So the guy moves in. But you know, as sometimes men can tend to be complicated, this guy, this guy picks interest in me. And you know how difficult it is to be with a boy in a room of two. Anyway, I'll not say much, but I hope you can understand and relate to what I'm talking about. It was not easy for me, but I had to bear and tolerate. So this guy comes to me and tells me, you know what, I like you and I love you and I want to date you. And then I told him, are you crazy and stupid? I mean, your girlfriend is my roommate. Your girlfriend is my classmate, my coursemate, my university mate, and you want me to date you? Then he's like, okay, if you have refused to date me, you will see. So literally this guy he used to see me take my drugs before even him approaching me. And he used to ask me, why are you taking medication? Sometimes I would lie to him, I have stomach ache, I have pain, I have backache. So I would not truly disclose to him that it's ARVs. So when I refused him, he went in our room. Remember, he had moved in, so he had access. He went in my suitcase. He found my medication. He went and found my medical forms and realized that I'm HIV positive. He immediately ran to our roommate, the girlfriend, and told her how I wanted to infect him with HIV and how I was enticing him or seducing him to infect him with HIV so that he can infect the girlfriend. As you know, sometimes love is blind. Uh, the girl didn't listen to me, my roommate. I tried to sit her down and told her, you know what, try to narrate the whole story, but she could not listen. So what I did, I ran away from campus. I ran away from campus, I ran away from home, and where I ran to, I asked myself, Gloria, for how long will you keep on running away from this, running away from stigma? This is who you are. Your HIV status is not going to change. Your status is not changing, so it's about you believing in yourself and going back and face those challenges you're facing. I told myself, Gloria, you're a bold person, and bold people don't run away from problems. Bold people go and face the challenges. I later on had to go back at campus and in that hostel. And immediately they saw me, they all packed their things, and they said they cannot live with someone who is HIV positive. Of course, at that time, rumors had spread. Gloria, the HIV positive girl who wants to sleep with people's boyfriends to infect them. So no one wanted to associate with me. Everyone knew about my status. I literally had no friends. Every friend of mine left me because I had HIV. And it was really so sad. It was really so sad because in this generation, people who we think are educated, people who we think are informed enough about HIV and stigma to treat me in such a way. Nevertheless, I remained in my room. They took all the goodies they had, the screen TVs and everything and all that. So I remained in my room with my mattress, my bed, and my suitcase, and I told myself, Gloria, this is the time for you to pick yourself up, to show them that you can be someone developmental, show them that you can do whatever a negative person can do and even better, and show them that you can be something in life. I went on internet and searched about, different things about HIV. Just put HIV and AIDS in Uganda, and then I happened to find this pageant. It's called the Y Plus Beauty Pageant, organized by Ugandan Network of Young People Living with HIV. I don't know if you have ever heard of that organization, UNIPA. It's the Ugandan Network of Young People Living with HIV. And good enough during that time when I was on internet, they were just starting the auditions. So I was like, why don't I go for this? So I went for the auditions. I passed the auditions. We went to Fort Portal for the boot camp. We came back after 2 weeks. We went to Africana, and I won the pageant. I was crowned as Miss Y Plus 2017, 2018. And that is where my journey started from, of advocating against stigma and discrimination and living a public life. I was empowered to be an ambassador of change. I was empowered to speak freely about my HIV status. I was empowered to tell people that, hey, you can have HIV, but still look beautiful like the way I look, and still study, get a law degree, get a medical degree. You can do anything. HIV does not limit you. You can be more than HIV. HIV is just a virus. That doesn't define you. Later on, I also joined the Miss Uganda contest, and I was crowned as Miss Uganda Rising Woman. That was 2019, and Miss Uganda Miss Purpose. Yes, and as I said earlier, my life changed. I got an opportunity to be on international conferences. I attended the International AIDS Conference in Amsterdam. Last year I was in Durban, South Africa, for the ICASA, that is International Conference on AIDS, on HIV, AIDS, and STIs in Africa. That is the Society of AIDS in Africa. And I've really achieved, I can say, yes, according to me, I don't know, but I can say that I've achieved a lot ever since I spoke about my HIV status, and ever since, thank you so much, and ever since I accepted myself. And this is what I tell young people and all people living with HIV, that there are three things you can choose. It's a choice, right? It all starts with self-acceptance. Amidst all the stigma, amidst all the denials, amidst all the rejections, if you accept yourself the way you are and know that this is me, this is Gloria, I have HIV, HIV does not define me, it's just a virus of which I can take my medication and I suppress the virus, you can never go anywhere. Number two, self-love. I tell young people, if you love yourself, other people will love you. It all starts with you. Then the last one, choosing to live a positive life. This does not only apply to people living with HIV, but even people seated here right now. There are three things that can help you. Self-acceptance. I know most of you here are judicials, most of you are lawyers in your different capacities, but some of you are struggling with self-acceptance. Some of you are struggling with self-love and positive living. It's not all about, positive living in terms of HIV, but even in our daily in our daily life. Positive living is very, very important. As I shared my story, and as I say that I have a law degree from Uganda Christian University, there are lots of things that I've come to realize, especially in the legal fraternity. I'm so privileged to speak to judicials here who are actually in charge. First of all, I would like to appreciate you for the tremendous work you're doing.